Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Talent You Should Know, where we focus on the entertainment industry on a different level. Not only will there be artist and actor interviews of known and unknown talent, but insight into the team behind them that helps them build their brand. Each week, we'll tackle a different person in the industry with talents in their own rights. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Talent You Should Know with Zag. Today, we have on us very special guest singer, DevAB. How are you today?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Happy to be here. I'm
really glad that you're here. I've been watching you for a while, and I think, I wanted to have you on, and then I don't know what it was. I think it was your latest single. I was like, yeah, so...
It did it.
DevAB. Tell me about that.
DevAB, Devin is my first name.
Okay.
Anthony is my middle name. And my last name is Barrios. So DevAB. Okay. So it makes sense.
That does.
And when you look it up, I'm the only DevAB.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to find you.
Comes right up. Yep, it comes right up.
Unfortunately. Tell us how you started.
I've always been singing since I was a kid, maybe 7, 8 years old. But I've never taken it serious until recently. When COVID happened, I was always a basketball star. I was in high school. I played college basketball. And when COVID happened, I said, let me just see what I can do with it, see where it goes. And I did it for fun, and it ended up taking off. I didn't even expect for it to go how it's going now.
Really?
So, yeah, I didn't even do it for that. I just did it just to say I'm going to do it, and it took off. Yeah.
So where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised in Bushwick in Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
New York City.
It's funny. I almost moved to Brooklyn because I'm originally, I lived in Harlem when I was really young. My parents moved us to Jersey when I was about 8 years old or so. Okay. So, when I eventually got older, I was like, I'm going to move to Brooklyn. And then I was realizing how long it took to get to Brooklyn from Jersey. And I was working in Jersey. I said, so that's not good, but I love it there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you said you were doing basketball prior to doing music. So was that was that your path? Was that what you were going to do?
That was my plan, was to always try to play at a very high level, wherever it can be, overseas, pro basketball.
Wow.
COVID happened. It shut down schools. It shut down, gyms and stuff like that. And I ended up just taking a dive. This May or June makes the first year that I took music serious.
Wow.
So I'm relatively new to the music, and it's
going well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Do you write everything?
Everything. I write everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about your production?
My production, I try to work with whoever has kind of the same ear or same sound that I have. You get me? I don't like to, if I can, sometimes I'll try to get engineers that also sing. So it's easier to, critique my work. You get me? So,
yeah. So I want to talk a little bit, because I know everyone's seeing the tattoo on your hand, and you have several more.
Yeah, a bunch of tattoos. Yeah.
And the ones that I like to Trust Your Struggle. What's the story behind that? Because there was a ribbon under it, correct?
Right. Yeah. So my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years ago, and she overcame that, and she beat that. So it was kind of It's simple. It's exactly what it means. Trust your struggle. Trust that there's light at the end of that. At any situation that you go through, you have to trust the process, trust the struggle that you're going through, because there's light at the end. So it's one of my most meaningful tattoos. Yeah.
And it's on in so many levels, even with her journey, with the journey in music, with the journey in business, and it's I do a lot of the behind the scenes, on my page, because, you know, I want people to see how I'm trying to figure shit out. Like, I don't know how to, what is it? Like,
Yeah.
there are a lot of questions. It is a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So, you also have who is that behind the prayer hands?
So I have an alien behind my prayer hands.
That's what I thought.
It is an alien. It is. So my whole, I like to tie the whole religion with science, and I feel like it's a mixture of all of that together.
Okay.
So a lot of those tattoos are based off of my belief for both.
Got it.
You know, I have a belief for both. I wouldn't say I'm one-sided, but I can have a conversation about both of those things.
So do you think that we are alone in this universe?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I really don't. I'm like, really? Like, it's just us.
Too big of a world, too big of a planet just to be humans. It's too big. Mm-hmm.
So you also have another one, which I really loved, was the chess. It was it the king and the queen?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know how to play chess really well. I think it was like elementary school or like middle school. They taught us how to play chess, and all of those tie together because you know, in chess you have to make like wise moves to win the game. Yeah. So it's like in life you have to make wise decisions to, you know, just move forward.
Yeah, and you also have to think about what the other person's gonna do. You have to, you know, look and being said, you know, when you were looking at your artistry and what did you want to do, like, who were your influences?
As far as like musically, on the music aspect, I always looked up to like Chris Brown. I always looked up to the Justin Timberlakes and the pop stars. You know, I always looked into the pop stars. But yeah, my motivation came from guys who were doing the same kind of music as I am. So
yeah. I know. Has anyone said John B to you yet, or they're
John B? No.
Okay.
But I know who John B. I definitely know who John
I think that vocally you're different than him. I think, you know, as you get bigger, there might be comparisons just because of the look, but like, I think that yeah, your voice, to me, it has more of a pop feel than his does, you know? So what would you call your style? Would you call it pop, or?
You know, as I'm learning and growing, because I'm still learning, like I said, I'm relatively new. I see that I can touch base on every type of genre. You get what I'm saying? So like, if I had to get on a pop song, I can. If I have to get on an R&B song, I can. Yeah. I haven't really gotten on a rap or hip hop track yet, but I have so many unreleased songs in my phone. You wouldn't even imagine. Yeah, we wouldn't even imagine.
Do you do what I do, and I wake up in the middle of the night and I do voice recordings because I hear the music in the middle of the night?
Anywhere I'm at, if I can be in the middle of a party, I can be in the middle of a dinner, and I have to step away just to get that sentence out of my head.
Exactly. You don't want to lose it, because I've done that before where I've heard it and I'm like, oh, I'm tired, and then I forget it and I'm like, you know what? You're a horrible person, Zag. Like,
you don't want to forget it. It might be a hit. It might be a hit. You know, you might be a hit.
Yeah. Who knows, right? So, it's interesting because even looking on your page, like, are you collabing with Shoe Clothing, or is that?
I actually am. I reached out to them and asked them if they ever needed like any models or, you know, influencers to put their merch out to let me know. And they got back to me very quickly. Yeah. Very, very quickly. And they sent me some stuff. I took some pictures, some like professional pictures. I sent it back out. And they, you know, we're working on something now, like, you know, business wise, where we're going to keep working together. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think that's cool. Like, you, what's interesting about you is that even though you just started, I think your mind, again, going back to chess, it's very business minded and it's very strategic, because what you're doing now is you're getting, you know, your partnerships together, even though you're fairly, you know, new to this. Right. And then as you know, are shown more, that's going to be beneficial to you, beneficial to them. And Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We're just gonna grow together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very heavy on like loyalty, and like whoever I start with is who I finish with.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we can work together and we can take that brand and let it blow up on its, with each other's help.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like you said, you never, a few years from now, that might be the next big brand. And, I started with them.
Yeah. Loyalty is like a huge thing. Like people. Yeah.
Especially in New York, it's so cutthroat in New York.
There are people who I don't talk to this day, and people still don't know. You know what I'm saying? The stuff they confided in me, but it's just the rules. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a code almost. It's like a code.
Absolutely.
It is.
So, I want to talk about a couple of your songs. Take My Hand. I love that song so much. I love it because it makes you want to move.
Right.
I love the dance in it. I like the lyrics. And I think that it's a real good radio cut. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what was the kind of backstory to that?
Like we spoke about the pop and the R&B, and I always told myself, I said, I gotta have something pop like that. Something pop, just excuse me, in the resume, just in case.
Yeah.
And I actually brought it to DJ Drewski. I'm not sure if you know who DJ.
Oh yeah, Drewski. I know DJ Drewski.
I sat with him for a little bit, and I played a few songs for him, and he actually like replayed that song maybe like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
He was asking me like, are you going to do anything with this track? And I was like, listen, if the numbers are right, like, we can do whatever with this song.
Right.
But that's a lot of people, like it's their favorite, one of their favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. And you looked really good. I really, I like your style because you know what your style is.
Right.
You're not figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that. And I also, you have a new release, which is Questions.
Yes.
Hard.
Very different vibes. Yes. Very different vibes.
Loved it. Mm-hmm. And I like that your style. What I was thinking of is your voice was really good. It was really smooth. You had overalls on in it, right? And I literally said, this isn't even like contrived. Like, this shit looks good, with the hoodie, and it came all together.
Right.
So, tell us about Questions. Like, was there an inspiration?
There was. Those are like, what I'll say about my music is everything I write or I perform or I put out, it's all experience based. It's all experience based. I wouldn't lie to you about anything.
Yeah.
I've experienced it. I've lived it, and I could sing about it. So it was a time in like my life. I was going through a little relationship issue, and like every other artist, I put it out in music. And everything I thought or I felt, I had a question for, or I had questions for, that female. I said, I'm gonna write them as songs.
Right.
And that's literally how it happened.
Got it.
I can't fake it. It's literally how it happened. Mm-hmm.
Are you single?
I am.
Okay. And I'm asking that because when I put this out, some people are going to ask. So I'm putting that out because I interview some people and they have more of a history, so they know. Right. But it's just like
No, sure. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm a young man, and I'm experiencing life, and I'm thankful that I'm able to write about it and make music that people can relate to. You know? Mm-hmm.
So speaking of just the things that you've done during COVID and kind of stepping away from basketball and into this industry, are there any like sacrifices that you've made and that you might do all over again?
Yeah, I mean, school and basketball was one of the biggest sacrifices because I love basketball. I watch it. That was just it was kind of like a different, like it was like a life switch almost, because I was used to being up at 6 a.m, going to work out, eating different, going to different places, not going to these places. And then I started doing the music, and it's like, I'm in the studio at 2 a.m. I'm out. I'm in this spot. I'm in that spot. I'm on this interview. I'm on that interview. So it's like people are calling me. I'm getting emails, and it's like, whoa, like it was a little overwhelming at first. And like I said, I didn't plan for none of this. I honestly, like I tell everybody, I did not plan to have, 50, 60,000 streams in a few months. Like, I'm like, dude, like this is crazy. So
yeah. Because even just looking up your streams and looking up your videos, you have more views than a lot of people that have been out for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, with Bond's help, with the marketing and getting myself out there and doing things like this, like an interview, just talking to people, networking. Like I'm growing, I'm learning, so I'm open to doing things like that.
Yeah. So COVID has kind of like changed things, and what's I think what's interesting is that you started your journey during COVID. So what are your expectations after we're all free? Again.
Yeah, I would love to perform. Okay. I need a performance under my belt. I showed that I could get behind a camera and do a video. Yeah. I showed that I can make good music, and now I want to see what I can do with a crowd. I want to see what crowd is gonna like, because they don't know me, and I could see people's reactions. I could see who likes it, who doesn't. So that's gonna be a big experience for me. Is performing in front of people.
Have you never performed in front of people before, or?
All the time in high school and being in a choir. I was in a choir in high school. So I'm used to being behind a camera and talking to people or performing in front of people. But just being in a venue, I guess being in a venue, like if it's a club or a bar that I have to perform in, I've never done that before. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to a hip hop artist. He's doing, craziness right now. And he said when he first started out, they'd be going to these little dive bars and there'd be just someone in the back.
Yeah.
Like the whole for no reason. You know what I mean? But you just kind of push through that, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, everybody's not going to like you, but it's how you get through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen, listen, on my videos, I have dislikes on my videos. I've had people comment on my videos. I've jumped on lives on Instagram, and I've had the amount of like comments is just crazy. I've had people get off, like, you fake Justin Timberlake, you fake this, and then I've had good comments. It was just like, it could get overwhelming for people who aren't mentally prepared for that. If you're not mentally prepared, it's not for you.
I mean, especially coming from New York, we
take it personal. We take it personal.
Like, what?
Yep. Even some of my people, some of my friends, like my mother, and she's like, "Oh, this person said this about you." I'm like, "It's all right. Like, don't worry about it.
Right.
Let's just keep it moving.
Start finding people. Like, calm down. I need you to
Yeah.
So I noticed that, and you mentioned it, you do a bit of directing. Is that something that you want to do more of for other people and for yourself?
For myself, mostly. Having the vision. I'm the first one with the vision. And then I'll go to some of the videographers that I've worked with. I mean, the last videographer I worked with, I'm not sure if you know him. His name is Joe. Is Joe. Very, very hands-on. He knew what he was talking about, and that's just the beauty of it, being able to collab with these videographers and putting our ideas together and directing together. It's great.
So what do you use, like the iPhone? Do you have like an actual camera? What are you using at the moment?
To shoot the videos? Whatever the videographer has, like he'll tell me what kind of cameras he's using and lighting and stuff like that, and I'll be like, okay, let's make it happen.
That's cool. Let me tell you something about me and filming. So right now, COVID has pretty much saved me because everything is like via Zoom, right?
Right.
But when the rapture's over and we're different places, I'm going to be traveling for this stuff, and I have a camera. I have an expensive camera. I don't know how to use that shit. I don't know. Like I tried recording on it, and I'm like, okay, I think I could do that, but how do I transfer it? So this is going to be a whole thing right now, because Zoom has made it so easy for me, because I can record this and then I send it off to my producer and I tell him the clips and he drops it. But how is that going to change when I'm, face to face with someone?
Right.
What if the tripod fall? Listen, there's a lot of stress that goes on behind it.
Right. Nah, I think you can do it. I think
Yeah.
You just gotta put yourself to it. You can do
it. So what did your family think when you first said, "Listen, I'm giving up basketball. I'm going to do music"?
My family's very, 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 very supportive. 100% supportive. They're gonna get behind whatever is positive that I do. And a lot of people, when I used to play basketball, a lot of people were telling me, like, do music. Like, you can play basketball and do music. Like, do it. See what happens. Do it. And I always told them, no. I was so focused. Like, I'm very focused when it comes to, like, one thing. If I'm determined and focused on one thing, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing nothing else. And a lot of people were excited. A lot of people were excited and behind it. They were ready. They were ready for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So right now you're independent, right? Is there ever a situation where you want to be on a major, or do you think that you'll stay independent?
It depends on timing. It depends on timing. If it takes a much longer, independently, and I see like things aren't moving as fast. I mean, right now they're moving at a very fast pace. So, if I can stay independent and really like pop and really make it, I'll stay independent. But if I was approached by a label that I think might help me, broaden my image and help me a lot more, then I'll take it into consideration if the numbers are right. If the numbers are right.
I think just looking at you, even when I'm looking at your videos, and like, you're consistently growing. It's not like, oh, this one had 7 views and the next one had 6. And it's like, no, one had 2, then it had 3.6, then it had 4.6, then it had 10,000. And I was like, okay, you know what I mean?
They're growing overnight, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is, but it's exciting, isn't it?
It is very exciting. It is.
So what's next? What are we doing? Are you doing an EP? Are you thinking about a full-on album? Like, what's happening?
I have another video that I want to shoot. I have a lot of songs out. I have at least, I think, 2 or 3 EPs out. So I think I'm solid on music. Music in itself. Like, I showed people the different vibes and different things that I can do as far as music. And now it's pumping out visuals, and getting my face out. Getting my face out of there. Because a lot of people, I always tell people, a lot of people are lazy. They're so lazy that they don't, they're so lazy. Like, a lot of people like seeing things. They won't hear something, you put a picture in front of it, they'll like to see it, so my focus now moving forward is visuals.
So speaking of your EPs, is there one that you think represents you the best at this moment in time? Because sometimes, people release like 3 or 4 EPs, right?
Right.
But it could be the first one that still kind of is the whole game of who you are.
I think the last EP that I dropped was where I kind of honestly found like myself. Like, I found my sound. Like, I feel like I sound a little more mature. Yeah. I feel like what I'm saying, like, from the first songs that I dropped till now, I'm just like, those songs. People tell me, oh, I like this song, that song. I'm like, that song is old. Right. Like, that is nothing compared to what I have coming out now and what's out now. So I think now the most recent EP that I put out was telling me, like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. Like, I can do it. Yeah.
What's interesting, it's funny you say that, because I don't know what song it was of Kanye's, and he was just like, and I think he might have put it on College Dropout, or maybe he put it on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It was something like that.
Kanye is one of my favorite artists. Yeah, he's one of my favorite artists.
He put it so he was like, this is like 12 years old. He said, I made this. He was like, no one was trying to hear it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the kind of thing with, you and anyone else. Like, even though it's like, that's old, it's like, but it's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, maybe you revisit those and like throw those on the album, or make them like an interlude or something like that, just to kind of give people a little mixed taste.
Yeah, I have so many. Oh man, I have so many songs that people love, and some of the fans love, and they tell me like, "Oh, I really love this," and I'm like, "That's nothing." Like I did that when I barely knew what I was doing. Like it's crazy.
So what do you think that of this whole body of work that you have, right? Are there a top 3 that you think that people should listen to really get your full range?
Top 3 songs that I have
Yes.
out. I would take from separate EPs. I would definitely take Fed Up from the first EP.
Yes.
That's like that song I kind of showed like I'm talented, I can sing, I can rap, like this is what it is. And it also has a visual. Take My Hand is definitely one of the top 3 songs that I've ever done, because now it's completely different from Fed Up. Different video, different song. And then I'd probably take something from Questions. Maybe Should I Run Back, or the Questions video, the Questions song.
Okay.
Yeah, those would be my top 3 or 4 that play these like that, and it'll give you everything you need.
Everything I need to know
who I am as an artist. Yes.
Okay. You mentioned the so would you rap more?
Would I? Yeah, of course. Yeah. I wouldn't rap as more as like
this is like, what you do.
Yeah, but I definitely rap. I definitely rap if I can feature on something and rap on something. Like I write my own stuff, like I said, so I can put together bars that make a lot of sense, you know. So
So I know you said that you like Usher and not Usher, excuse me, Chris Brown and Kanye. Are those like your top 2 people that you would collaborate with, or?
Oh man, Chris Brown, Kanye West. I'm always gonna be a fan of Drake. Those are like my 3 main guys. Justin Bieber. A lot of people sleep on just like when I say Justin Bieber, they're like, "What? You like Justin Bieber?"
Because they don't understand his body of work.
I'm like what he does is creative, is passionate, it's real, you know. So I respect that.
Yeah. Drake is something else. Like, how do you have 3 singles?
It's just, the numbers speak for themselves.
The numbers don't lie, right?
Yeah.
So what would it take, as far as a full-on album? Is that something that's in the near future, or do you think?
I think for me to drop an album, I would like to be either really, really, really established, like as an independent artist, or like signed to a label.
Yeah.
So that way there's everything and everyone behind it. So there's marketing, there's a big name, like big label name behind it. It's like, this is it. Like, this is what everybody's waiting for, this album, So I would keep dropping visuals and, a pack here, a pack there of 3 songs, 2 songs. And until people are like, okay, we're going to get behind you. We're going to invest in you. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to give you an album,
Yeah. So, the final thing I'm going to ask you is, what do you think that people should know about you that they might not know just by going to your Instagram or going to, SoundCloud or what have you?
I'll answer maybe as far as music and just what I do and what I invest a lot of time, a lot of energy in myself. And, you said something about sacrifices, and you have to sacrifice, big things now so that you can live a better life later. Yeah. And I would tell people that I'm very invested. I'm very invested in what I do. I'm good at what I do. And you have to walk around and have that confidence. Yeah. Like people need to know that even if you're a bigger artist than me, I still feel like I'm a bigger artist than you. Yeah. That's about me. Like, you don't have, like, that's just how I carry myself. Yeah. I carry myself like that. I talk about myself like that. And it's almost like manifesting. So I carry myself like a celebrity now. So that way in the future is nothing to me. I'm not going to change. I can't switch up on you because I've been like this.
I've been like this.
I've been like this. I've been like
I've been a star. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Exactly that.
Yeah. What brings you peace?
Peace, I would say being able to understand someone and have someone understand me. And what I mean by that is any way, shape, or form. If I could have a conversation with someone and, give them understanding, or have a song drop and they feel it and understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It gives peace, because a lot of people are just misunderstood. A lot of people tell people, "Oh no, this man is crazy, this girl is crazy," and it's like, no, that not maybe to you, but it's just they're misunderstood. So what brings me peace is understanding. If we can understand each other and have that communication, that's I'm satisfied.
I love this.
So
I'm like really excited about what's about to happen, and I don't think it's gonna slow down or anything like for you. Like, this is legit just a start. 2021 is about to be insane.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
So I want you to tell everyone where they can find you. All platforms, everything.
Yeah. DevAB on all platforms. Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Pandora, everywhere. YouTube. It's all DevAB.
So I want to thank you again for carving out time, because I know you probably have to sleep now so you can go to the studio at midnight.
It's fine. I'm so thank you for having me.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of Talent You Should Know. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as leave a review. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.